This listener is in their mid to late 20s and feels like I've hit all these milestones, I've passed them, and I'm kind of at the point where what do I do next? A lot of us have these things or ideas passed down of what we should be doing from society or from our parents, marriage by this time, house by this time. And I'm just realizing that that's not actually what I want, but this realization causes anxiety. And there's so few models of what these alternatives could be. How do I navigate this?
That's a good one. I would say number one would be allow yourself to feel the anxiety because it's actually not bad. It's showing you that there's shifts happening, right? For anything to shift, there has to be movement, right? So it's almost like an internal thing is happening. And
like you got to get like the shit side of something before you can, because you have to realize what the path you're on isn't the one that is feeling
Even
good.
if you think about like a hammer and a drill, it has to force to get in. That sounded weird, but you know what I mean.
I'm just thinking about drilling. I'm just like, yeah.
Or like for an engine to start, you got to move the key.
Okay, yeah. Or like starting a lawnmower, you have to like pull it back first.
Cause and effect is more so what I meant. So the anxiety is just her nervous system's response to that. So that's not bad. It's probably telling her that you're on the right path. Keep going. But it's uncomfortable. Growth is uncomfortable. Nobody talks about how uncomfortable growth is because it's new, it's uncomfortable, and it's literally like complete untamed terrain.
Yeah.
And that's exactly what they were speaking to. So I would say number one, like honor the anxiety, but then write down like when it's happening and where. And so the writing does two things. One, it allows it to live on a page instead of what I like to call the swirlies in your head.
The swirlies.
You know what I mean?
The swirlies get me so bad sometimes.
But it's because they're just like running wild.
Yeah.
It's like a bunch of new baby puppies and they're like,
Right. And like half of them are mean to me and want to see me fail. Yeah. And you're like, can you not now?
And you're just like trying to chill.
Yeah.
Right? But if you write it down, it gives it a place to live, which calms down the swirlies a bit. And two, it brings it out of your subconscious mind so that way you're not just like trapped.
Yeah.
And then you can come back to that page if you want. So it also puts you kind of back in control. And then that'll help this person with, it's showing up the most when I'm around family. Okay, they're probably being judgmental. They're probably stressing you out about having kids. No kidding, the anxiety is showing up more there, right?
Yeah,
so then that'll help them be like,
And again, for us people pleasers, it's like, oh no,
right.
somebody's disappointed at my choice.
But if you're with your best friends and you don't feel anxiety when you talk about it, that's going to start showing you.
Right.
And then I would say like really get clear on what your potential small next steps could be. I say small because if you start thinking like, okay, I'm just gonna have a brand new career by tomorrow, that's just not gonna work. But if you can be like, okay, so maybe I start having coffee chats with people who are doing things that I'm inspired by or interested in. And then slowly but surely you'll start building up that armor within yourself and that confidence and having different conversations, which will help you figure out where to go, or you hire a coach.
Okay. Link below for Carey's services, Coach Carey.
Yeah, because I feel like that's like a quick one session. Like I don't even think that person would need more.
Okay. Yeah. It would just be kind of noticing where the anxiety is, putting it out. And then say somebody is like a people pleaser. Hypothetically, I don't know any.
Asking for myself.
Yeah, comment below if you know any people pleasers.
Asking for a friend.
If somebody is so like struggling so much with, say, like, pleasing certain people in their life, the opinions of others, and that is like clouding so heavily them to being able to just like see what's true to them separate of that. Like what would you recommend is the first step for someone like that?
So that's tricky because essentially what people pleasing is doing each time, even if it's on a micro scale, it's self-abandonment.
Okay.
Which over time hurts.
Right.
But the only person conflicting said hurt is you on yourself. And exactly.
Wait, exactly. People pleasing equals self-harm? Question mark?
Yeah. Like self-abandonment.
Self-abandonment. Okay.
Right.
Okay.
But internal hurt, because now you're like sad or you're annoyed or you feel frustrated or you're like, why did I offer to do that when I'm overwhelmed myself? And then you feel guilty. And then you said it's this whole thing. So the self-abandonment piece is really tricky because that's like things you need for yourself.
Yeah.
So I would say if someone is a recovering people pleaser, let's put it into action. I would say slowly but surely start implementing new boundaries. And I say slowly but surely because if you go too ham,
I've cut out everyone.
yeah. Then I'm like, oh, we got nowhere to go, right?
Solution to people pleasing, cut out all
you're
the
like,
other people.
I now isolate. The next guest is me, and the guest after that is me, and then it's my dog, and then it's my dollhouse.
I don't need anybody else. That's right. It's my dollhouse. It's this crystal ball I made for myself, just stuck up here.
Imagine.
Yeah.
So, but then the other part about that is that boundaries are tricky. It's actually one of the pillars in my confidence talk and my workshop and the work that I've been, doing for the last 10 years, because people don't realize that boundaries are part of how you feel about yourself. Right? So historically, we all know like boundaries are there to help you respect yourself. Easy. Boundaries are there to teach others how to respect you.
Right.
Easy-ish.
And could you just clarify, like, in case somebody's like, what is a boundary? Like, could you give an example?
Okay, I'll get there in a second. So we'll go full circle. So there to help you respect yourself, there to help you teach others how to respect you. They're tricky because when we're implementing new ones, the people who are impacted by them the most typically respond negatively. And then because you're a people pleaser, the chance of you upholding that same boundary are slim to none.
Right. Because then, you set the boundary, somebody's like, I don't like that. And you're like, oh, it's fine.
Exactly. So for example, when I was throwing parties, I stopped drinking. And there was friends who were like, what? You're not going to drink? Who's going to have fun with me? Who's going to dance on the table with me? I can't believe you would do this. And I was like, that's a really weird response to me trying to do something better for myself. Okay. So then I put a boundary. And I no longer, went out with those people. But I would still, I'll love, see you at the restaurant, high five, say what up. But I'm not calling you to go out. I'm not calling you when I'm having a tough day.
Right.
And so that was the boundary. It's like, yeah, we can still be friends, but now we no longer party together.
Okay.
And so when they respond negatively, that's them pushing up against that boundary.
Right.
And I could either falter and be like, yeah, you're right. Let's party tonight.
Right. And is that because this person is like, they don't want to have to look at their own partying, or they just,
I think it's a combination.
They know you in a certain way and they maybe don't want to have change.
And they haven't done like their own self-work to be like, wow, that's amazing. Like, how can I support you? Because all my other real friends who I said that to were like, cool.
Right.
We won't drink with you, or let's go to dinner, or let's do something else. So then it just showed me, okay, cool. How are these people showing up in my life? So that's why for a people pleaser, you got to do it slow and steady, because you got to do small boundaries to see how people show up. And if they honor it, then you can lean in a little bit more. So for example, that might look like someone saying, hey, I really could use your help. I'm moving tomorrow. Let's say your back hurts. Let's say you have a back-to-back schedule. Say you have a comedy show coming up.
Yeah, I can't move and then put this moneymaker on stage.
You've got to rest and mentally prepare.
That's right.
So imagine you said to the friend, I'm so excited for you. Like, wish I could be there. Happy to pop by later, or maybe we can grab dinner. We can sit on the floor and eat it together. Yeah. And they go, "What the hell? You're not gonna come help me move? What kind of friend are you?"
And then I'm like, "Oh shit, maybe I'm a bad friend.
Right?
Maybe I should betray my own schedule."
Exactly.
And that's what you're talking about. That's where the self-abandonment happens, because rather than doing what I plan to do and working.
Exactly.
I've now acquiesced to somebody else like that. I don't know why I dropped acquiesce right there. I was like, she's a scholar. Fire emoji.
Right? So fire. So that's why it's self-abandonment.
Right.
So people don't realize it because it happens gradual over time.
Right.
But when you honor your boundaries, what happens on the flip side is you build self-trust, which is one of the foundational pillars of confidence.